And even, can you further tell me what kind of genetic material do they possess, and for what bacteria, what kind of Gram reaction do they have? So I hope you will comment it in the comment box. I'll move forward. Now, for example, like I'm isolating a certain bacteria from any sample, say water sample, and do certain tests, and with the assistance of a faculty we come to a conclusion that the sample contains this and this bacteria. But where from we confirm this, like a foolproof one? Then comes into picture our Burgess manual. So basically, for we microbiologists, this book is like so-called holy book, right? Now, coming back to our today's topic of discussion, that is Burgess Manual of Systematic Bacteriology. Prior to that, you must be thorough with certain terminologies. So, first is taxonomy. What is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the branch of science which is concerned with the classification of organisms. It is generally derived from a Greek word taxis, meaning arrangement, and nomos means laws. Bacterial taxonomy consists of 3 separate but interrelated areas. They are namely classification, nomenclature, and identification. Classification is generally the arrangement of different organisms into taxa on the basis of their similarities. And nomenclature is the assignment of names to different taxonomic groups, and this is done by International Code of Nomenclature of Bacteria. And the third one is identification. So for practical use, during our practical sessions, this is used for the classification scheme to determine the identity of the isolate as a member of an established taxon, that is, to which taxon it do belong. So before moving forward, I would convey few terminologies which are prior to be known, that is the difference between species, strain, and type. So basically, what is species? So, species is a collection of bacterial cells which share an overall similar pattern of traits in contrast to other bacteria whose pattern differ significantly. So, let me show it. For example, this is our Petri plate which contains a nutrient agar, and we have isolated a few bacteria, this one. It is a colony of certain bacteria, and this is another bacteria. These are the different colonies. Some have red colonies, some bacteria have yellow colonies. So these all are different species. So it is basically the colonies are showing a collection of bacterial cells which share an overall similar pattern. The red ones are showing similar pattern with the other red colonies. Now, what is strain? So the strain is, let me draw and explain it to you pictorially. So this is another this is another Petri plate. Now what I have done is, from the red one, the red colony, I have with the help of wire loop, I have taken a loop full of culture and inoculated in another Petri plate and incubated for 24 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. So I got all the red colonies with similar morphology as that of the single colony of that one. So a strain is a culture which is derived from a single parent that differs in structure or metabolism from other cultures of that species. say biovores or morphovores. Then what is type? Let me again explain you with the help of a diagram. So now from the second plate, I have again taken a loop full of culture and inoculated into the another plate. So what I got is another red colonies, but here the subspecies shows differences in the antigenic makeup, that is the serovar, and they are susceptible to phage and in pathogenicity as well. That is, for example, this is my bacteria, like if I am seeing under a microscope, so these are the different antigens which won't be visible under light microscope, but I am showing for your ease. Like this is a certain bacteria which have this kind of antigens present on it, and in a similar way this is another bacteria which have somewhat like this antigens present on it. So these are the type strains. Now moving forward, before that I'll show the taxonomic ranks. You all must be aware of this. Like for example, I have isolated Escherichia coli, then you should know that to which domain, phylum, class, order, family to which it belongs. So for example, E. coli, it belongs to family Enterobacteriaceae, order Enterobacteriales, class Gamma Proteobacteria, phylum Proteobacteria, and domain Bacteria. We'll be discussing all this in detail in the further slides. So let's move forward. Now we'll look into the history in brief. So Berge's manual was given by Sir David Hendricks Berge. You can see his picture over here in the slide, and he was an American bacteriologist. Berge's manual was classified into Berge's Manual of Determinative Bacteriology and Berge's Manual of Systematic Bacteriology. In 1932, the first edition of BMDB was published by the Society of American Bacteriologists, and in 1994, 9th edition of BMDB was published. Further, with more amendments with a comprehensive description of established taxa, first edition of BMSB was published in 1984, and consequently the second edition of Systematic Bacteriology was given in 2011. And further, to reach more audience, an online platform was made available, that is in 2015, the digital edition of BMSAB, that is Berge's Manual of Systematics of Archaea and Bacteria was published. So here you can see the succession of Berge's Manual. The Berge's Manual of Determinative Bacteriology, it is the 9th edition which was published in 1994, which I mentioned earlier. And here is the Systematic Bacteriology, 2nd edition, published in 2011. And this one is the Berge's Manual of Systematics of Archaea and Bacteria, published in 2015. Now, I hope till now everything is clear. Now let's quickly go through the determinative and systematic bacteriology's differences. So Berge's Manual of Determinative Bacteriology provides the information scheme for identifying bacteria and archaea based on the morphology and the differential staining and biochemical tests like IMVIC tests, which you have performed or will perform in your practical sessions. Basically, it is the standard reference for laboratory identification of bacteria. And what is systematic bacteriology then? It basically provides the phylogenetic information on bacteria and archaea. It is based on rRNA sequencing, and it is very specific rRNA sequencing, that is, it has 16S rRNA sequencing is done, and it is the standard reference on bacterial classification. In addition to that, now you all understood that what all the differences between determinative and systematic bacteriology. Now, as I already mentioned that we will be focusing on systematic bacteriology, so let's jump into it. So BMSB has 2 editions. The first edition has 4 volumes and the second edition has 5 volumes. So basically it is the main resource of determining the identity of prokaryotic organisms. This manual has much broader scope than the determinative bacteriology. In addition, it includes the information on taxonomy, ecology, cultivation, maintenance, and preservation of organisms. So generally, the manual includes the description and photographs of species, tests to distinguish among the genera and species, and DNA relatedness among the organisms in various taxonomic studies. So, the first edition has 4 volumes. The first volume, which was published in 1984, it contains the information of gram-negative bacteria which are of medical or industrial importance. And the volume 2 contains information on all types of gram-positive bacteria. The volume 3 contains all the remaining and slightly different gram-negative bacteria along with archaea. It includes cyanobacteria, archaeobacteria, etc. And the volume 4 has information on filamentous actinomycetes and other similar bacteria. Now moving towards our second edition. Our second edition has 5 volumes. The first volume was published in 2001. It includes archaea and deeply branching and phototropic bacteria. The volume 2 contains gram-negative proteobacteria and it includes medically important genera such as Escherichia, Pseudomonas, Rickettsia, Vibrio, Salmonella, etc. And the volume 3, it contains gram-positive bacteria, low G+C content in their DNA. They are rods and cocci and pleomorphic mycoplasma as well. Now, it includes formicutes. And the volume 4 contains gram-positive bacteria with high G+C content. More than 50% of G+C content is present in their DNA. Example, actinobacteria. Now our volume 5 includes diverse gram-negative organisms and it includes 10 classes as I have mentioned in this table, such as bacteroids, chlamydia, fusobacteria, acidobacteria, etc. Now, the dynamic taxonomy. Lots of updates and additions have been done and about 100 new genera and 600 plus new species have been described per year for each of the last 5 years. It provides an up-to-date description and Burgess Manual Trust thought about a digital edition which was published in 2015, that is BMSAB. So taxonomic outline of BMSAB. Now we know that bacteria is traditionally divided into gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. So before moving forward with our topic of gram-negative bacteria, we must know the differences between the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. And you can even look into the picture, you will be very clear with their differences. So gram-positive, they generally retain crystal violet stain during gram staining procedure. They have a very thick peptidoglycan layer and in them periplasmic space is absent. This cell wall is smooth and they have very low LPS layer and they are more susceptible to anionic detergents. So its example includes Bacillus, Clostridium, etc. And the gram-negative ones, they do not retain crystal violet stain. They appear pink color under light microscope and they have very thin peptidoglycan layer or may be absent, and periplasmic space is present in them. The cell wall is wavy and they have high LPS layer, and they are less susceptible to anionic detergents, example E. coli, that is we all know. Now gram-negative bacteria, moving further. The domain bacteria is divided into 30 phyla as mentioned here, and the circled ones, that is Acidobacteria, Aquifacea, Bacteroids, Chlamydia, Fibrobacters, Proteobacteria, etc. They are all present in our second and fifth volumes of second edition of BMSAB, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, now we'll be main focusing on Proteobacteria, which comes under volume 2 of BMSB. Most of the gram-negative bacteria are present in volume 2 and the rest are present in volume 5. The volume 2 is divided into 3 parts, that is subdivided. The part A contains the introductory essays, the part B contains the gamma proteobacteria, and the part C contains alpha, beta, delta and epsilon bacteria. Okay. Now, what is Proteobacteria? The Proteobacteria word has its origin of Greek. From the Greek god Proteus, who could assume many different shapes to reflect the enormous diversity of morphologies and physiologies observed within this bacterial phylum. As they mentioned that they have diversity of morphologies. So, Vibrio, Cocci, Spirillum. So, they have different morphologies. That's why they come under Proteobacteria. So, understood, right? Now let's look into different classes. It has 5 classes: alpha, beta, gamma, delta and epsilon Proteobacteria. So let's look into it one by one. The first class is alpha Proteobacteria. It has 6 classes and 18 families. The 6 orders are Colobacterials, Rhodospirales, Rhodobacterials, Sphingomonadales, Rhizobiales and Rickettsiales. As you can see here that they are mentioned in green, red and blue bubbles. So the green ones are the beneficial bacteria and the red one are phytopathogenic and the blue ones are animal and human pathogenic. Right? So these are the different families as per the orders and the different genera which are included in the class 1, that is alpha Proteobacteria are Bergerunkia, Rhizobacter, Rhizospirillum, Rickettsia. So I know that you guys are very familiar with these names. So basically in alpha Proteobacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria are included. So moving further into beta Proteobacteria. So beta Proteobacteria also has 6 orders and have 11 families. So it includes Burkhanderials, Hydrogenophils, Methylophiliales, Neiseriales, Nitrosomonadales, Rhodocyclales, etc. And the families are as mentioned, and the genera includes Methylophiles, Neisseria, Spirillum, Acidovorax, etc. And the third one, that is gamma Proteobacteria, it includes several medically, ecologically and scientifically important group of bacteria. So it has 14 orders, out of which I have mentioned 6 orders, which we the bacteria which we generally perform for experiments in laboratory: Enterobacteriales, Methylococcales, Vibrionales, Pastorales, Pseudomonadales and Xanthomonadales. The genera which are included in this are Vibrio, Xylella, Pastorella, Methylococcus, Theracia, Salmonella, Erwinia, etc. The fourth class is Delta Proteobacteria. It includes iron reducing and sulfur reducing bacteria. It contains 8 orders and 17 families. So these are the 8 orders mentioned over here, and the genera it includes is Delovibrio. So they pasteurize other gram-negative bacteria and forms a structure called Deloplast. And the last one, class 5th, is Epsilon bacteria. It inhabits the digestive tract of animals and serves as symbionts or pathogens. So it has a 1 order and 2 families. The genera it includes is Helicobacter pylori and Campylobacter. So that's it. Thank you for listening to me.